The SGC Foundation is grounded on the principles that you don't need a title to be a leader and you can't have too much fun helping children. As such, the foundation provides fun and recreationally related activities that benefit children. The foundation's focus is to bring individuals and organizations together into a partnership where all are treated as equals, with the end result of making today and tomorrow a better place for children of all ages. Most importantly, it's all for the kids. And remember, if it ain't fun, we ain't doing it. To donate to the SGC Foundation, please go to www.sgc-foundation.org. Thank you for your support.
Welcome to It's All for the Kids. We got big bad Mike Dempsey that always walks around with those big old guns, man. I'm surprised. There you go. See, I knew you even had the shirt so you could show those guns off. There you go,
plug
my
right
brother.
there. Cheap plug. It's all good.
Hey, so I know that you're sitting in your car with your new dog and everything, and
it's Rocky right here.
Yeah, so it's pretty kind of cool, man. So how is everything over there in Carolina today?
Doing well. 7 days with Rocky. So Rocky's a rescue for the Mid-Atlantic Pug Rescue. We lost our 15-year, 3-month-old Chug Gizzy in 2 months ago. And Rocky's story is incredible. That's why we call him Rocky. He was, and it will break your heart, but he's a resilient young man. He was thrown out of a moving car in Winston-Salem.
Oh,
and his
shit,
owner tried to back over him. And one of these horrific stories that a lot of these rescue dogs, that's why it's very important to adopt rescue dogs. And he's bounced around a little bit, but he had a great foster family for a few months that nursed. I mean, he wasn't injured, thankfully, from that incident, but I'm sure psychological, but he's a loving guy, and you can tell by looking at him, he just loves, gives affection, and we've had him for 7 days, and he's escaped twice. I haven't done a 40-yard dash in like 30 years or whatever it is, and I've had to relive my football days trying to sprint to get this guy because he sees the door open, he's out. Not that he doesn't want to come back, but he's a dog, and he's just still getting used to his surroundings. So it's been a very eventful, thought it'd be a relaxing week at home, a staycation, but he's given me a lot of work this week, but it's all good.
Hey, so does that mean you can still run a 4.340?
No, I'm like, what was that guy who they said in the draft he's coming out? He's 465 pounds.
I was gonna go there. Did you see that guy?
Yeah, he ran like what did he run? He ran a 5'9", which isn't bad for a guy that size. I was like,
pounds, Mike. Can you imagine?
I had guys in high school that ran a 5'9". This guy ran a 5'9" at 465 pounds. I mean, that's a impressive feat.
He's from Florida, and a good friend of ours, Jim Park, that does the cigars, right? Gets us the foundation cigars and everything, is a big Florida fan. And I got to ask him, because does this guy play offense or defense? Offhand, remember?
I don't remember. I would, it would be interesting to see if he played defense but he could be, like I said, how quick he is to the ball. I mean, I'd just like to see the guy in action. I haven't seen any clips of. I only saw what was at the combine, but his pro tryout. But God, he's got some. His bench press was like 37, whatever. I mean, he had some impressive. He's a strong guy. Whether it translate, I just think that kind of weight. You see some of the big guys. I mean, William Perry was one of the best of all. I mean, God, that guy could move like a beast, man. Michael Dean and his brother, man, I'm still friends with Michael Dean Perry, and I haven't seen William in many years. But 465 pounds, I mean, he's going to have to lose some weight.
Can you imagine playing if he plays nose tackle right there in the middle? He's just going to plug up the deal. All he's got to do is just stay there.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he goes in the draft. They said he's going to be like a late round draft pick. He ain't going to go number one or in the first round. But I mean, I'm saying, it'll be an interesting experiment. Jordan, I think his name is Jordan Davis, is the guy I met a couple of years ago. Jordan, this guy, I was talked to him. We were at the Bronco Nagurski Awards. That's the College Defensive Football Player of the Year Awards. And Jordan, I think the Eagles have him now. This guy too, he's about 400 pounds. And I asked him, I said, "How fast are you?" And he said, he ran like a 5.0, which is incredible. I ran a 5.0,
Incredible. I mean,
which is
I got news for you,
unheard
buddy.
of. I mean, I don't know how this kid.
Stevie ain't running. Stevie ain't running no 5-0, man. Those
Yeah,
days
no,
are
I mean,
long gone.
yeah, he was telling me some of his stuff, and I'm like, oh my god. So he went first round. I think he's been with the Eagles for I think two. This is like his third year coming up. He's played 2 seasons, but yeah, these boys are getting bigger and bigger. So I'm glad I'm 54 this year. I'm long retired because I would never have a crack at all at making it in this new day and age where the boys are just getting bigger and bigger. And I don't think it's steroids. I think that it's just I don't know what they're taking because I know they're being
I
tested.
think, hey, I can remember, back in the day, because I'm that old, that they used to give you an ice cream diet. Tried to gain weight in high school, and eat all this food, trying to gain shit. I couldn't gain shit. So I don't know how these boys get this big, keep that weight, keep in shape, going to the gym, because you played, you're in shape. You look at J.C. Pearson, played cornerback, and that
Yeah.
sucker, he can still play cornerback. You look at DK. DK looks like he can still get out there. You got Mike Bankston. He looks like he can get out there.
Oh yeah.
But DK, I don't know if Mike Bankston does it, but I know DK goes to the gym every day because whenever I want him to come on the show, I know I got to wait till after 11 o'clock Phoenix time.
Oh yeah.
Go to the gym to work out, then he's got to go get something to eat, right? So
yeah. Well, growing up in Brooklyn, I mean, my trick was we had diners in Brooklyn, right? So I used to go to this place called the Vegas Diner in Bensonhurst, and I used to have these big double burgers, and I used to go to Carvel, those ice cream place, and get those shakes. Because and this all happened to me all high school through college. I used to, I try to always be around 235, 240, but after camp, I get down to like 218, 217. I'd sweat out a lot. I was a big sweater, man. So by time camp, so I needed those extra calories. And then they had this weight gain powder stuff. It was nasty, man. You put it in your milk, and it was the nastiest stuff. This weight gain powder. And then they had these Dynaball stuff. It's like this stuff you take under your tongue. It was legal. So when people say, "Oh, you did steroids," look, that was legal stuff back then. It wasn't. I took it over the counter. It was over the counter stuff. It wasn't. Now it's a legal banned substance. But I never injected anything. But I did that stuff. It helped you gain weight, and it worked.
it wasn't like you're trying to get steroids for muscle stuff. You're just trying to bulk up and put weight on and then shape it. So.
Now we're doing Wegovy and Ozempic to lose weight. Back then it was all this stuff to gain weight.
It's like, what's it? Go low to lose weight. That takes the stuff and it totally messes up your system. To try to lose. I mean, shit, it's crazy.
I never did this stuff. Pete Rose. I mean, I just got to spend some time with Pete, and he told me that all the guys back in the baseball era in the 70s, 80s were doing these greenies. They were just giving out a locker room, and it's like amphetamines is what it is. And it hypes you up. And so everybody, when they say the steroid era, these greenies are just the same thing because they're hyping you up. And can you imagine taking these things before a game and how and what a difference it makes? So back then it was nobody had everybody. Pete Rose himself was so he attained Pete Rose's career statistics. Everybody else was doing it. So Pete said, "Hey, everybody, Steve Garvey, everybody he played in the game with was doing the same thing." So he did what he had to do to stay competitive. So,
I said, because I had, where I couldn't raise my arm above the shoulder and everything, and I went to a pain specialist, right, that used injections, but it wasn't steroids, and it was like Novocaine going into the trigger points in your shoulder, right?
Yep.
So you could raise it up. And basically, as soon as it went in, you felt the prickle and needle going in and went into the muscle, and it would shake. You just have that little bit of quiver, but it was like Novocaine. It wasn't a steroid. It wasn't cortisone or anything.
Yeah, I've done cortisone. You feel the cortisone thing. That is, wow.
Yeah, cortisone is bad for you. So anyway, it was just like Novocaine going in to relax it. And your shoulder isn't a joint, right? You got all the ligaments just hanging there. And I mean, just 7 points. And when he did it, I could raise my arm above my head, right? Where I couldn't before. And I said, I understand Barry Bonds and everybody putting shit in their body and not knowing what it is, right? Because, you're an athlete, you're pro, you got to do this. And that's your job. You're going to do whatever you have to do to keep your job, right?
Correct.
So you're not going to go to the doctor and go, "Hey, man, can you give me the list of the ingredients and tell me what's in here so I can double check it?" You're going to go, "Fuck it. put it in there so I can go play tomorrow.
Yep.
That's the mentality. Because if you don't play that day and they put some young kid in there, and all of a sudden he goes, 4 for 5 playing baseball, you're like, oh shit, we're gonna keep this kid in there, and you can sit on the bench till he can't hit it, type deal. So,
yeah, the thing that really messes you up is the painkillers. That I got on after my second ACL surgery and after Tampa in '96. And I got addicted to that stuff because that stuff it makes you feel great, man. But that was the reason when Herm Edwards came to me, and it was known that I was popping those painkillers, and but they were given to me in the trainer's room, so I just you get them other ways. Let's just say there's ways of, and then I started taking these Sonomas. They were to help sleep. And you get hooked on that stuff, and it was a bad downward spiral I had in my life back then. But a lot of other guys, like a lot of the guys who did those Sonomas and these painkillers are the professional wrestlers. Now, when I lived in Tampa in the mid '90s, all the professional wrestling guys, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, all those guys, they all lived in Tampa. That was the Mecca. Hulk Hogan, right?
yeah,
So it was all everywhere I went in my community. There was because we had monthly rentals because obviously professional athletes can get cut and you don't want to have you don't want to have a lease otherwise you end up paying for it. So we had these month-to-month places, and all those guys had access to that. So I got caught up in that more with the professional wrestling guys. Actually, myself, I went out for the professional wrestling tryout that lasted 4 or 5 days.
wow.
I was talking to Ric Flair, the other week. Rick's my buddy.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say, man. I've seen you all over on Instagram, Facebook, meeting everybody. I mean, you were with, Glide, Drexler,
Frazier. No, Clyde Frazier, 80 years old, man. Knicks legend.
Yeah.
I met Clyde Drexler, but Clyde Frazier, what a legend that guy is. 80 years old, looks like he's 40 years old, man. He looks great.
You say that. How about, God, I'm trying to think, Mayweather, senior, right? That has his gym in Vegas. Man, his hands, of course he's been hit, so his speech is there, but it just takes him a while to say what he's going to say, right? Because of, all the damage he did in boxing. But his hands are still quicker than shit. And
I trained at that gym when I was doing my boxing exhibition back in 2022. About 2 months before, I went out there, and Kenny Bayless is a referee. He worked with me, a referee, but Kenny Bayless has some boxing game too, man. And he worked with me that whole day. I was at Mayweather's gym, and it's funny because it said no video, no photos, and of course I took videos and photos.
Oh, yeah.
I was at Mayweather's gym. I had a show. This was a highlight reel just to be around these guys. I didn't see Floyd Jr. that day, but man, but Bayless, some of these old school guys, man, they'll work on one thing. Like that day, all he let me do is throw jab. He wanted me to throw that jab to my left arm fell off, and that I know what he was doing was trying to say, like Larry Holmes, one of Larry Holmes' best boxer, but because of his jab. And if you can keep that left jab going, doesn't matter. You can throw that too, but as long as that one you can stick and move, then you're going to be able to, and that really helped me a lot. So great coaching I got out of the Mayweather boxing gym.
Hey, Mayweather, man, he came up and he comes into the gym, right? Shit, he's older than Stevie. Shit, I was 68 at the time, 67, somewhere around there. And, of course, J.C. Pearson's with me, Tim Barnett, Gary Stills is there, 3 Kansas City Chief guys, right? And Mayweather comes in, he goes, hey, man, y'all want to spar? And he's looking at these guys, they're athletes, and they're like, I ain't getting in there. So I'm like, and he looks at me, and I'm like, hey, dude, I ain't getting in there. And he goes, so, hey, look, man, we'll put the headgear on. We'll put the waist gear on. I'm like, well, who's going to protect my ribs when you break them?
Yeah.
I'm like, shit.
It's not an easy sport. I'll tell you what, you got to look back at this exhibition, they called it, with Lyle Alzado and Muhammad Ali. I think it was in Denver, outdoor stadium. And I'll tell you what, Lyle's a Brooklyn guy, by the way, born and bred in Brooklyn, but tough mother. You know what? Lyle, if you look at that, he was giving Ali some real shots. And I still believe that a lot of Ali's head trauma, look at that exhibition. There's nothing fake about it because Lyle was trying to win. And Ali looked, definitely in the later rounds, Ali looked pretty worn. And I don't think he was putting it on. They could say Muhammad Ali was trying to carry Lyle Alzado, but I'll tell you what, Alzado watched some of those middle rounds. impressive. And because I've done the boxing, and it's not an easy. And that guy, the stamina that it takes, because you get a lot of that, especially just walking to the ring itself takes a lot out of you, that nervous energy.
Oh,
And I remember, yeah.
you're so hyped up on adrenaline and everything that going in. I can just imagine. And
Oh, I
you
was
know,
done
you
by my first round when I fought my fight against Richie LaMontagne. He was a 3-time cruiserweight champion. Richie was smart. He let me, I got in the ring first, and I was in there for about 15, 20 minutes doing my warm ups. Dickie Eklund was my cornerman, and Dickie from the Fighter movie that Christian Bale played.
yeah.
And I was worn, man. By the time that bell rang, I mean, it was like I felt like the fight was over before it started, because I kept my hands up pretty good. But let me tell you, I wore, and Richie got to the ring. He took his time, got to the ring, didn't wear himself out, and yeah, he had. That's what real boxers. That's the difference between a pro and a Joe. They know those little things. And I remember I drank. Johnny Damon has this hydration drink called A Game, and it's still out there in all the stores. And I brought it. I got a bunch of them that Johnny. We were at a golf event a couple days earlier, and I kept pounding these hydration drinks before. You're supposed to drink those things after. They're like recovery drinks.
Oh
They're
yeah.
not. You're not supposed to take them before. So
Oh no.
between rounds, I was ready to puke because I took all that A Game drink.
Yeah.
Supposed to just drink water, man. But I drank some. Mickey Ward, who was the referee. Mickey's like, "Why'd you drink all those?" I said, "I didn't know. I don't read the
Nobody told me.
labels. I don't know."
Nobody told me what I was supposed to be doing. Oh shit.
Right.
Damn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I went that 3 rounds. I'll tell you what, like Lala said, it went 15, I think. I think it was like 10 or 15 rounds. He went, Ali. I went 3. I couldn't have come out for round 4. I can tell you that there was no way there was a round 4 happening, because by the time, and that's fight is on my website, by the way, themikedempsey.com. That boxing match, that I left it all in the ring. I was 51 years old, and there's old guys shouldn't be doing that stuff at that age, but we think we can, and the mind says yes, the body says no, man.
Oh,
So
hey, look, I remember that in my 40s. Okay. I don't know how Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are playing in their 40s, right? Because I remember in my 40s we'd go down to, Oklahoma and play in the stadium and play with J.C. Watts and Steve Largent and others in the stadium at Christmas time, right? Get in there because the switcher could get, Barry could get in anywhere he wanted to go in Oklahoma. Man, he could still be
yeah.
governor if he wanted to,
Oh yeah.
We'd go in there and play, man. And you try to play it and start out as, flag football, friendly stuff, right?
Yep.
Well, before long, man, it was like full-blown tackle, playing on AstroTurf, no pads, shit. You know how hard AstroTurf is, man, with
Oh
no
yeah.
pads? Oh,
Well,
shit.
Well, I'll tell you, a couple of years ago, I got invited to play in the Celebrity Sweat. They do a flag football game every year, Super Bowl week. They've done it for
Yeah.
25 years. So Doug Flutie really put that event on the map. That was
I saw
Doug's.
some of that with you running with them flags on.
Oh my God, man, that was RG3. So I was on Tracy McGrady's team a couple of years ago, and I got this opportunity to. And it's funny because it was in Oh, you're in Arizona. It was at GCU, Grand Canyon University.
Yeah,
We had a full
right.
sellout, man. That was the adrenaline coming out of that field, and I will tell you, man. But that first quarter, Rob Riggle, I think, wanted to play. He was out there playing and I said, Riggle, I told him, go to the sideline. This is my moment, because I don't get these chances. I said, you go entertain your comedian, entertain the military guys, do what you do best, but I'm starting. We got Andre Reed lining up against me, and you got RG3 and all these ballers, and
Yeah.
KJ Osborne. So first series of the game, I mean, I didn't know who he was, honestly, because I'm not looking at all the lineup of who. I'm just out there playing, and it was his first. The first kid I did well on is Josh Richards. He's like a YouTube influencer. He's on that Barstool Sports. A little kid. I
Yeah.
knocked this kid. But then KJ Osborne, he blew by me, but I kept up with him. This old man, and he caught one over my head. I said, you know what, for a 25-year-old Minnesota Vikings stud to catch one over my head like that, I'll let that happen. Hey, that's all good. I got on, and it was on TV on the whole commentary, and they said something like, the commentator said, man, that defender looked like he was in like Flagstaff or something. Like, they made a joke like I was but
Yeah.
I kept up with this dude, man. But then I was playing against Frankie Muniz, who is this actor from a show called Malcolm in the Middle. And
Yeah. Oh
Frankie's a
yeah.
local, he's your local Phoenix guy, man. He was like flexing, thought he was going to do some stuff. He was really pumped up to play and be a hometown hero.
Right.
So he does this. He catches a ball in the second quarter right before halftime. And, what happens is when you're playing flag, and I haven't played enough to know the difference between tackle and flag, he came across the middle, but he did a spin move on me. And so I kind of lifted him up. He's a little guy. I don't like to beat up little guys, but I kind of picked him up and I threw him down. I forgot it was flag. He's supposed to just grab the
Yeah.
flag.
Well, yeah.
And
You got
he
C.
kind
Hey, Mikey, you got CRS, man. You can't remember shit.
I don't
You
remember
forgot what
anything,
you were
man. I'm
saying.
just gonna plead the fifth on that. So I threw him down, but he didn't get up. He went down like a ton of bricks. Like I think I broke
Oh
the kid.
shit.
Now he's a car racer, so I'm hearing this story. That he's a NASCAR. He's racing
Yeah.
cars. So basically, I'm preparing him for the rigors of NASCAR because he's gonna
Yeah.
get hit in a car. So I figured get hit by
Right.
Dempsey. It's a preparation for. But he went down, and Billy Blanks was my teammate, and he looked at me. I said, "Billy's okay." He goes, "No, I think he killed him." And I said, "It was like a." One of that momentary pause, and he got up, but I'll tell you, he didn't play the rest of the game. So I got some clips of Frankie. So I ran into him like 4 months later at this NASCAR event for Joey Logano. It was in Charlotte, and he
Yeah.
saw me. You know how someone sees you, and it was like he had like
Yeah.
PTSD. He had PTSD when he see me, like one of those like, "Ooh, I'm saying, hey, I'm so sorry." And he goes, "You ripped my pants." I said, "I don't know how I ripped your pants, but that had to be done. I wasn't trying to rip his pants. I was just trying to hit him, man. I didn't know
Yeah.
your pants
Exactly.
ripped. I
Exactly,
can't."
brother.
Yeah, but I did rip his pants apparently. So I owe him a new
Oh,
pair of
yeah.
pants. But
Hey,
hey, he owes all his success in NASCAR to me because I'm preparing. I was trying to help the kid, and one
exactly.
day when he
You
writes
wait
a
for that
book
shock
about,
to get here.
yeah, exactly. So, but
Oh lordy. So we got all kinds of stuff coming up, man. I'm so happy that you're able to, swing over there in New Orleans, right? The Super Bowl and play. And we had a great time. Everybody had fun. At least most 95% of the people had a good time. Okay. Still talking about it.
well, it depends if you had a good day on the golf course. When you have a bad day, you blame it on everybody else. If you have a good day, you're like, hey, I had a great day. Everybody has good days and bad days. Hey, I played Joe Namath a few weeks ago, and I played with Joe Delamere, Buffalo Bills offensive lineman. He blocked for OJ. He's a Hall of Famer, but Joe's about 80 years old now. He can just putt. And I played
Yeah.
with a guy named Barry Weinberg, who Barry's 74. He had a great author. He was a trainer for the Yankees and the A's and the Cardinals, and so it's really just me and Barry because Ric Flair was our fourth. Rick had family issues, couldn't attend.
Yeah.
So it's just us out there, and we didn't get a birdie till the 18th hole. But I remember telling Barry, I said, "Listen, whether we make the birdie or not," and I did. I made that putt in the end, but I said we're going to make it on the scorecard as a birdie because I'm not turning in scorecard. It says 0 on it. It's got to have like at least a -1. So
Right.
we didn't get a
Right.
prize for being in last place, but we had fun, and having
Well, that's
fun. The
the whole point,
stories. That's what it's all
and
about.
it's whatever the function's for. If it's to raise money for Children's
Yeah,
Hospital, if it's to raise money for terminally ill kids, is it for cerebral
exactly.
palsy, whatever. That's the winner. That's how I look at it and stuff. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I
you got
I
to
know
remember
you're
what you're there
leaving.
for. You're not there to, if you want to play around the golf and be competitive, and some guys do get out there and they get very competitive. They want to win, and some guys just don't know it's well, hey, a lot of times when I do, like I almost won the other day at Alex Highsmith's event. He's a Steelers linebacker, and we thought we won. I mean, I had a PGA instructor on my team, so I was thinking, this is an easy day for me on the golf course. Is this kid? He's
Exactly.
bombing.
Exactly.
24 year old kid, he's bombing these balls out there. All I got to do is play his best ball. And we turned in a scorecard that I'll tell you was a cold, windy day. We were 12 under, and that 12 under, I know now I lost out to a guy named Big Ben Roethlisberger who turned in a scorecard that said 14 under. I'm not going to say Big Ben cheated, but let me tell you, we were out there, and I don't see how it's possible. The greens were messed up. It had rain, all this stuff. I'm not going to suggest that Ben cheated, but it was a little. So I lost by two
It's a little
strokes, but
iffy.
I
It's a little
but
iffy.
I wanted to win, and I'm telling you, but he was gone. So I'm saying, well, Ben's not there to get. Then it should go to me, right? If you're not,
Yeah.
if you can't
Right.
beat the clubhouse for the presentation, then I think by
Mhm.
default, my team's got to win.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Exactly. You got to be sticking around. I mean, you can't be just leaving. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
but I think he just wanted. He had the video camera, the guys videoing. I think it was more for his social media. I got to find where the hell he put it, but yeah, that's a disputable. But I get competitive. I wanted to win because I finally was going to win a golf outing. I'm like, man, I won this thing, and then Big Ben Roethlisberger, did me in. So it's all good.
hey, look, we're going to be in Phoenix in a couple of months, right? We're going to be out there in, sunshine, warm weather. We got the pre-tournament party at the pool because Stevie usually always does a pool party. So we got the pool party going Wednesday night before it. Everybody hang out, tell stories, throw people in the pool. So I tell people, hey, if you're coming to the party, you better be dressed in the proper attire. Although, you guys, I don't think I can throw any of y'all in, okay? But I just want you to know that the phrase is if they can throw the founder of the foundation in a pool at one of the events, because I was a little late getting there, not by much, but just a little late, then it's fair game to throw anybody in the pool. And we've been known to throw some people in the pool, even that weren't dressed appropriately to be thrown in the pool. But we tell them, first off, make sure your phone's out of your pocket because you're going in.
Right.
So, and I know DK is going to be there. Big Mike Banks is going to be there. Little Sid Justin's going to be there. And I say little, they're still bigger than Stevie. But, compared to DK and Mike Bankston and some of these boys that play defense, some of those cornerbacks are kind of like a little smaller kind of guys,
Well, we got to give a shout out to your sponsor, David Chen, Panda Boy, man. Panda, that's my dude, man. I love David Chen and Paige and GFI. Was it GFI Capital? Those people, they're great, man. You got some good people there, so I know they're planning on coming out as well and having some fun and smoking some cigars. So it should be a fun time with those guys.
Oh,
I love them
that. I got Reggie Grant that played for the Jets that does a lot with the African American athletes and the Watson Scholarship, and he's coming. We got Mike Fisher with his silent auction stuff coming. So Mike's coming down from Utah to come on in. Got some of our Vegas boys like Marlon Greenwood coming down. So I mean, everybody's going to get to play with the NFL guys or celebrities, all the different stories, talking stuff, talking trash. Got J.C. Pearson that's coming from the Chiefs, and he's been an ambassador to the Chiefs. So yeah, my boy JC's got I think like 3 of the Super Bowl rings, on. So shit, you might wrestle him to see if you can get one of those rings to put on, but don't get it stuck because they'll cut your finger off to get it back.
That's great, man. No, you got a lot of Arizona. Like I studied the Arizona chapter out there for the NFL Alumni and the Players Association. I mean, got a lot of talent out there, man. A lot of good guys.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot of fun. The weather's gonna be great. We're gonna play late in the afternoon. I'm gonna try to get Baby K's that has a lot of good Cajun food. The recipes from a lady that's like in her 80s or 90s. Gave these twin sisters the recipes, so they got great jambalaya, bread pudding, the gumbo.
I love that.
So we're probably going to get them to bring the food over to the pre-tournament party the night before, maybe some on the course. We got the golf course over there using Talking Stick that's on the Salt River Project, land of the Indian Reservation, right? So that means they're allowing us to do a lot of stuff that the other golf courses weren't going to allow us to do. Like we got Monster coming out there. We can put food out there. We're talking to, Tito's. Because, Tito's is like everywhere, right? I mean, those boys are like taking over number one, vodka in America, it seems like. So we got those guys coming, got some bourbon coming, trying to find, our boy, Charles Woodson to see if we can't get some of his, whiskey coming out to participate in it. We might even get, Mighty Mouse, McMillan to come on out.
Oh, he's the best. Golf. Yeah, we got to get him to cook some food, man. That guy is my man is Mark. He was on that chef. What was that?
The Iron Chef. He won the Iron Chef. I think.
Yes, he was. That'll be a finalist on the show, but he is good. What a great dude, man. He's the best.
Oh, have you tried his seasoning? I mean, I got some of his seasoning, right? To grill with. Oh man, that stuff is good.
Yeah, the tough thing when you get these stuff from these guys and then try to fly home with it. I know who was it? Ed McCaffrey gave me this great barbecue sauce, and I tried to. It's great stuff. He's got his own brand, Ed McCaffrey, and man, TSA, man, they pulling out my bag. I said, "This is Christian McCaffrey's dad." I said, "Come on, man, they're taking it home with them. They're not. They're confiscating it.
You know it. That's I pack a lot of that's." when you take your sticks with you, you always got to check that luggage, right? So I always got my
I know.
luggage checked. So I always
I
got
don't
it
do
in
that.
there. But
Yeah, no, I do carry on. That's what messes me up. I never check my luggage, so that stuff always.
well, that's because you
It's
don't
always.
have. That's because you, my man, you don't bring sticks. You go rent the sticks when you
I
get there.
know. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm not gonna lose because I'm afraid, I'm paranoid losing my clubs, man. I got my fitted clubs, golf tech. There's no way I'm taking a chance on it. So, sometimes you get some decent ones, like the ones I had in Namath where, like PGA, it's hit or miss based on how big you are. Like they give you what they give you, and sometimes they work well, sometimes they don't. So,
Well, yeah,
when you
because
rent your clubs,
you guys are a lot bigger. They got sticks for like regular people like Stevie. Come on, brother.
yeah.
You're like 6'4", got all his weight swinging shit. I mean, look at, but hey, it's gonna be a great time. I know we're gonna have fun out there. I mean, like I said, Mike Fisher's bringing a bunch of silent auction items. Working with Right Toyota to bring out a car for a hole-in-one. We got Mardi Gras hole. Our buddy Damon Batiste, of the Batiste family of music
Oh yeah.
of Louisiana, New Orleans, South Africa connection is coming out to play. And Cooley, from South Africa that was there with us in New Orleans, she's coming to
Yep.
participate and go out there and talk trash with everybody, be out on a hole to raise money, for the kids of Phoenix Children's.
Nice.
We got people from Phoenix Children's Hospital coming. I'm trying to work it out that maybe that Wednesday or Thursday morning before we tee off to go see the kids at Children's Hospital, take some stuff over to see the kids at the hospital, because I kind of miss that. Ever since the pandemic, it's gotten tough to go see the kids. We used to go see the kids all the time and take autograph hats to them and, play some music, take some musicians with us. And
that's the
but
most
no,
fun thing we do, because I did Shriners Fair and FL Alumni in Carolinas. We did the Queen City Classic for Shriners Hospital in Greenville. And I'll tell you what, visiting the hospital and seeing the kids, oh man, that was the most inspirational part of the whole event. I mean, we did a couple of months later when we presented the check to them, but they gave us a tour of the hospital and made it all just to see what Shriners. It's like going to see St. Jude's in Memphis. Once you see what you're supporting, man, it really it messes you up. But you're doing a good thing, fundraising, and you got to see why. You got to know what the why is. If you don't know
yeah,
what the why is, then you
you know,
shouldn't be out there
and
playing.
that's the whole reason we do Children's Hospital, right? Because there's one in everybody's community, and everybody's got a story you're connected to, so you become part of it. And Children's Hospital is doing all the stuff that St. Jude's and the Shriners do, and no cost, right? If you go in there, you bring your child, you're not having to pay the Children's,
Right.
So it's going to be really kind of neat that Phoenix Children's Hospital's got it on their website promoting. We're going to have a fun day on the golf course, probably play some music afterwards, do a pool party afterwards, hang by the pool, talk trash, talk stories. It's amazing, because you played. It's kind of fun to listen to all the different stories from DK saying that he played against Green Bay when he was at Dallas, got the Super Bowl, but Reggie White knocked him on his ass so many times that his ass hurt so bad he couldn't even sit down to have steak dinner with his wife on his wedding anniversary stuff. So stuff like that, and of course the trainers, the different, like you said, the meds that they give you back then, it's like, hey, just take these, you'll feel better tomorrow. More and more people, I think, are starting to understand that when you play on Sunday, your body ain't ready to play again till Thursday if you're lucky, because it takes you 3 days if you're lucky to recover from it, all that stuff, and another thing, Mike, that people don't realize, and I love having you guys come on the show, is they don't realize all the good that you guys do. They always think of the NFL guys, the one guy that gets caught DUI, driving, or in some place they're not supposed to be. And that's all they report on. They don't report that you guys have the Alumni Association that's helping, care for kids. So many of y'all have camps that the kids can come from high school to learn how to get from high school to college to the pros, and not only teaching sports, but you're teaching them business, how to take care of their finances, all that stuff. Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Highsmith, the rookie. I mean, he's a third year linebacker for the Steelers. Just completed his third year, UNCC kid, and his foundation that I just went out to support last Monday. That's what they're doing for football camps and helping kids. Lawrence Taylor has his family foundation. His daughter Tanisha, I go out every year. LT doesn't need a. I mean, he's LT. He gives back, and another guy that is amazing. I got to put him on a pedestal, and he is on a pedestal. He's 7 foot tall. Is Shaq. So Shaq in late June, I'm doing for the third year. I'm coaching the football with my guy Chris Draft. We did it last year, and a few other guys. We help coach. It's just a sports clinic for the kids in Henry County. So Shaq is a sheriff. Henry County Sheriff's Department is no look it up on the website. Shaq is a deputy sheriff. There's no faking that, and he's on the website, legit, and he supports the kids from underprivileged kids, and they come out to this camp, and we do it every year. We do baseball, football, and flag, and all this stuff, and the kids. It's amazing being around the kids. And Shaq's there, cafeteria, and everybody gets to hang out with Big Shaq. And that's so when you see guys that have millions and millions of dollars, unlike I have, that are giving back, it is amazing. So Shaq is one of those guys I have the most respect for.
That's what I'm saying. And Marlon Greenwood has got his in Vegas. He built a whole building on one of the Nevada University's campuses to help the kids. Hoping Marlon gets down to Phoenix because he doesn't know it yet, but I told him he needed to get down there for certain reasons, but didn't tell him why. So we'll see what happens. So, it's going to be a good time, man. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again. It's like, I don't say they're NFL players anymore. I don't say you're an NFL guy. I say you're a friend of the foundation and you happen to play football. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
exactly.
we're all buddies now, it seems that way. And we're all a family kind of thing. So
exactly. Even this guy right here, he's been licking me. He's been trying to hold off on it. He's a very affectionate. He can't help himself.
He's probably trying to figure out that door. Don't open up that door in that car, Mike. He's going to take off.
No, he'll take off. Yeah, and I learned lock all doors around this guy because he can zoom. I've never seen any dog run as fast as this little guy right here. He is. We take him to the dog park. I put him with the large dogs because they can't catch him. So he'll chase those large. The large dogs will chase him, but they're not going to catch this little guy. So.
Hey, Mike, I know that you got a lot going on. I appreciate you taking time to come on the show. I can't wait to see you in Phoenix. We're going to have a great time for a few days. Hopefully we go see the kids. Now I'm going to get a bunch of hats for everybody to sign so we can get them with your name and all the other players and celebs. Thanks. And, hey, anything you can do to do a shout out. Hey, whenever you see the postings, if you just like repost them,
Yep.
Get the word out because I know y'all like the stuff, but if you can help repost and stuff, we'll get the players because, the more people we can show up, the more money we make for the kids. So
that's what's all about fundraising, man.
Your day to come on the show, buddy.
Yeah, I love it, man. Well, happy Sunday to you, and just take it easy. I'll see you in a short few months.
And I'll tell you what, I'll bring you the double Maduro cigars, and we'll smoke a few cigars. Okay.
There you go. All right, buddy.
You got it, buddy. Hey, thanks.
Thanks. Okay.
Do you like a good cigar? Not me. I like a great cigar. And if you enjoy a great cigar, like these guys, then you want SGC cigars. Not only do you get a great smoke, but a portion of the proceeds from each cigar goes to help the children. And let's face it, it's all for the kids. And if it ain't fun, we ain't doing it. Enjoy.